Welcome! This lesson is designed to help strengthen your understanding of Kohlberg's theory of moral reasoning. Let's start at the beginning. Kohlberg was interested in how children learn right from wrong, and he outlined a theory that shows the progression of a child's thinking in relation to morals. The foundation for his theory was the work of Jean Piaget, and Kohlberg believed that cognitive development goes hand in hand with moral development. You may have noticed that Kohlberg's three levels of moral reasoning seem to overlap a bit with pre-operational thinking: concrete operational thinking and formal operational thinking, as outlined by Piaget. Grab your book and turn to page 309. Don't forget to fill in your Jeopardy list for this concept. Use the study guide featured in D2L content to help supplement what is presented in the text. I will refer to and use the stage names featured in the study guide. Kohlberg presented ethical dilemmas to children, teens, and adults, much like the Heinz dilemma, his most famous, on page 310, which is also featured in your study guide. Remember that he was more interested in a person's reasoning as opposed to their response of whether a person's behavior was right or wrong. The rationale a person provided is what led him to develop the different levels and stages of moral reasoning. Pre-conventional reasoning is the type we see in young children, aligning with Piaget's pre-operational thinking. The focus is on self-interest, and the main goal is to seek pleasure and avoid punishment. In other words, what do I need to do to not get caught? Can I get by with it? Conventional reasoning lines up with Piaget's concrete operational thinking. The focus here is on obedience. Children listen to their parents and teachers and are also influenced by their peers. At this point, what they deem as right or wrong comes from without. It is external, what mom or dad or teacher tells me. This level encompasses children in the latter part of the middle childhood years on into the teen years. Lastly, post-conventional reasoning matches Piaget's formal operational thinking. We're getting ready to talk about this in Chapter 9, page 334. This level is primarily for adults as it requires the use of logic. Post-conventional reasoning involves an internalized sense of what is right or wrong. We listen to our inner moral compass to decide what we should do. It is very abstract in nature, and Kohlberg began to wonder if this is truly a level or if it is more of a theoretical idea. Under each of these levels, there are two stages. Whenever you're faced with placing a person within the proper stage, always start with the level. Once you determine the level, you are only left with two options versus trying to wade through all 6 stages at once. Remember, use the study guide on D2L to learn the names of the stages. This coincides with page 1 of the worksheet you received in class, also in D2L. Naming the stages and examining the moral reasoning goal in each stage helps you understand what each stage is all about. Let's walk through the examples given in the worksheet. Always look for key words and phrases in a scenario. Circle them. Scenario number 1 is Tamara. Key phrases include, the girl has copied from her on occasion. The girl has copied from Tamara on occasion. So here we go. This girl has copied from Tamara on occasion. Let's see. Tamara decides to look at the other girl's test. Tamara is also excusing away the fact that she's cheating by saying that it's not fair to have multiple tests in one day. This is a tip-off that she is focused on self. If it serves her needs best, then it must be okay. Let's go back to what we learned earlier. Pre-conventional thinkers are self-focused and want to avoid punishment. Conventional thinkers are focused on obedience and being the good girl or good boy. They care what others think. Post-conventional thinkers have their own internal moral compass and will weigh the situation by using information about what is happening to determine how they should respond. Looking at Tamara, we see first of all that she is justifying cheating off her classmate because her classmate has done this to her. She is using the rule of reciprocity. And we see that she is focused on herself. She wants to succeed no matter what rules she breaks to get there. This is clearly pre-conventional thinking. Now let's take a look at Table 8.3 on page 310, or you can use your study guide. Stage 1 is all about avoiding punishment, while Stage 2 focuses on taking care of your own needs, sometimes relying on the rule of reciprocity. Tamara is clearly Stage 2. She's operating under individualism and exchange, looking out for herself, and using the rule of reciprocity. Let's move on to scenario number 2. The key phrase here is, he was afraid of getting caught. Scott is purely interested in avoiding punishment and getting caught. This makes him a pre-conventional thinker operating at Stage 1. He decides not to leave school only because he fears being punished. In scenario number 3, we have Sophia out shopping with her friends. The key phrase is, stealing is wrong. Sophia is obviously interested in obeying the rules. And remember what we said about obedience. That's the conventional level. When we look at stages, she's not Stage 3 because she doesn't seem to care what her friends think. Instead, she fits Stage 4 because she thinks obeying the laws is important even if no one is watching. Amir, in scenario number 4, is our wild card, meaning that different people interpret this scenario differently. I will not give you an unclear scenario on the exam. No tricks, no gimmicks. Amir is greatly concerned for his mother, and he breaks the law to help her. We are beyond self-interest here, and he doesn't seem to be concerned with obedience. He broke the law, so that places us in the post-conventional level. I would support a response of Stage 4 or Stage 6 in this example. You could say Stage 5 because, quote, under some circumstances disobeying the law is moral. Or you could say Stage 6 because, quote, life is sacred. Either way, he is a post-conventional thinker because he is following his own moral compass. Next is Mihari in scenario number 5. She's breaking the law in order to save lives. So your key phrase here is to keep these children alive. This automatically places her in the post-conventional level. After what we just examined with Amir, it probably seems clear to you that Mihari best fits Stage 6. She risks her life and defies the law because of her concern for human life. Life is sacred. Last, we have Jamal in scenario number 6. The key word in this example is pressure. This should remind us of the concern for social approval, and that falls under the conventional level. Jamal succumbs to the pressure from his coach and teammates, caring more about what they think of him. This best fits with Stage 3. He plays the part of the good boy by conforming to what his coach and teammates expect from him. As I've already said, my aim is not to trick you on the upcoming exam. Any examples on the test will be straightforward. If you are struggling with understanding Kohlberg's theory, come by my office and work with me one-on-one. You also have the crash course Monkeys and Morality video in D2L content that recaps what is presented in your textbook. The study guide, practice worksheet, and answer key are all available in Chapter 8 content. Please, please, please ask for help if you need it. This concludes this lesson. Let me know if you have questions.